Welcome to a new season of Voices from Grace podcast with your host, Jake Stone. Today I'm here with...
Răzvan.
Răzvan is from class
2.
2, and today we're talking about...
Noah and his family.
And how he...
managed the animals under the ark.
Răzvan, welcome aboard the boat. You understand what I did there? Because we're talking about Noah's Ark, and the ark is a boat.
Very big.
A big boat. Okay, before we jump into our topic of the day, we have one main rule of this podcast. What is the one main rule?
The English podcast.
It's English podcast, so what does that mean?
I don't have
Clearance to speak?
to speak English.
Nu avem voie să vorbim română. Not allowed to speak any Romanian. I may break the rules from time to time, but it's my show, and I can do that. Okay, let's get you started with some warm-up questions. What is a video game you like to play?
I like a lot Fortnite.
Fortnite? What about Fortnite do you like?
I like Fortnite because it's a lot of fun and I play with my friends.
You play online with the friends? Awesome. Okay, what's the last book you've read?
The last book I read is the Bible.
The Bible? Where in the Bible did you read?
Geneza.
In Geneza. Genesis, n-avem voie să română. Genesis, say Genesis. Do you know Genesis is a luxury car? Have you ever seen a Genesis? It's a very expensive SUV. It's called a Genesis by Lincoln. Okay, anyways, all right. So we're talking about animals and Noah's Ark. Give me 2 animals that you really like.
Elephant and tigers.
Tigers and elephants. Okay, have you ever seen The Wizard of Oz? Do you know what that is, The Wizard of Oz? Forget about it, it's an American movie. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. You've never seen that movie? It's okay, we'll put it on for your class. Okay, what about tigers do you like?
Because they have a lot of speed.
Okay, speed. Repeat, speed. Okay?
And the elephant is too big.
It's just big, it's mare. They're huge, they're enormous. What about giraffes? You don't like giraffes? You know what people said about me in school? People said that I look like a giraffe because I have a long neck. Do you think that's true? Is my neck that long? Say you're supposed to say no. You're supposed to say no. Say no, not at all, no.
No.
Bravo, perfect. Okay, so now let's jump into our topic. In the book of Genesis, we have the story of Noah and the flood and the ark. Why did God tell Noah he was going to send a flood?
God told Noah he will send a flood to get rid of the bad people on the earth.
So basically, people on the earth were so bad. They were against God, making war against God, doing all the bad things you could think of. And God looked down and said, I am sorry that I made humanity because they don't look to me as their creator, as their God. They don't love me. So God tells Noah, I'm going to send a flood to get rid of all the bad people on earth. Pretty scary, don't you think? Have you ever seen a flood before? Have you ever seen how chaotic a flood is? Where the waters rise so high and buildings crash over and people get swept away? What does God tell Noah to do in the story?
God say to Noah to build the ark. He will protect he and his family, and to get all the animals onto the ark.
That's right. So basically God says build an ark for you and your family. I'm going to protect you, your family, and all the animals of the earth. God said something specific about the animals. Do you remember what he says about the animals to get onto the ark?
God said 2 of every kind of the animals to go into the ark.
You know, one thing I appreciate about you, Răzvan, is your accent with English is amazing. And I'm a native speaker. Do you remember I was born here in Romania, but I was adopted from an orphanage and I grew up in America. My accent in română, accentul meu în română, nu se există. It will never exist. But what's fascinating is with Răzvan, his accent in English is amazing. So, kudos to you. Let's keep rolling here.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm excited for this. It's going to get a little interesting. Let's talk about how Noah and his family managed the ark. So God closes up the ark. He sends the flood. Flood comes up to the highest mountaintop. How did Noah and his family manage 40 days and 40 nights with the animals? What do you think were some of the things that they did?
I think the God helped with the food
Okay.
and the water. I think they build a system to get the water of the animals.
I think so too. In America, we have the Ark exhibit. Have you ever heard of that before? The Ark exhibit. It's in the state of Ohio, and they constructed a scale. I'll cut to a picture here. They constructed a scale, life scale model of the Ark. It's incredible. And on the inside, they did some research and cultured. They discovered that Noah and his family used systems for water, for food, pulleys, which are rope that goes around a bunch of wheels for lifts, to make lifts for the weight of the food. They made storage in the bottom of the boat. So at the time that Noah was preparing and building the ark, they also put food and water onto the ark. And then they made a water system with piping that went all through the ark, which is pretty amazing. Who do you think's job was to take care of the poop of all the animals?
I don't know.
You don't know. Probably the lowest ranking family member. That's a joke, probably an English joke there. We're not sure about how they took care of the poop. It's not really that important, is it? Kind of closing out the ark flood story, what was something Noah did to figure out if they were close to land or not?
I can say, Noah sent a pigeon
So dove is a dove.
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 Noah sent a dove to see the land was nearby. The dove returned with a tree branch.
Okay, so the tree branch was actually an olive branch. The flood goes down. Noah and his family and all the animals leave the ark, and God puts a sign in the sky as a reminder that he would never flood the earth ever again. Do you remember, or do you know what that sign is that he put in the sky?
A rainbow.
A rainbow. Did you know that the rainbow is actually a bow and arrow? It's God's bow and arrow. Do you know what a bow and arrow is? Where you have like the arrow. Do you know who Robin Hood is?
No.
You don't know who Robin Hood is?
No.
How do you not know who Robin Hood is? You play Fortnite.
Oh yeah!
Uh-huh. So Robin Hood, the rainbow is God's bow and arrow, which is quite fascinating. After it rains and the sun comes out, often you'll see the rainbow as God's permanent reminder that he would never flood the earth again. Pretty sweet, don't you think?
Yes.
Final question, what do you think we learned from the story of Noah?
We learn from the story of Noah that God keeps his promises.
Amazing. That's a pretty big thing to recognize from the story of Noah, don't you think? Razvan, thank you for being on the show today, on board. Thank you for those of you who have watched this first episode of Season 2 of Voices from Grace podcast. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Goodbye!